triangle ABC has vertex of 0, so A is 0, 2, 0. B is 2, 6, 2, 6. And C is 8, 0, 8, 0. Now let's draw the triangle, okay? So, and then they ask to find the circumcenter. Okay, circumcenter is where segment perpendicular to at its midpoint. So first we're gonna find the midpoint of one of the sides, okay? Let's find the midpoint of AC. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So divided by 2 will be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the midpoint right here, okay? And perpendicular to it will be goes that way because this is vertical and horizontal is perpendicular to horizontal. I mean vertical. So that's will be the line for it. We know it's 90 degrees, okay? And then I'm gonna choose AB, okay? The midpoint of AB. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So the midpoint of it will be right here. And then perpendicular to it. So AB has a slope of raise 3 over 1, so 3 over 1. Perpendicular will be negative 1 over 3. From this midpoint, it goes down 1 to 3, down 1 to 3. So it will be like this.
On question 11,
So the circumcenter will be right there.
it is asking you to find the center, right? The center, there is a shortcut so that you don't have to grab it.
Okay, triangle ABC has, okay, they're asking for the orthocenter. Okay, let me graph them out. This will be A, this will be B, and then this will be C. Let me draw them out.
We did it for the what is that? So you have to find this answer first.
Okay.
You don't have to.
So they graph this out and they're asking for orthocenter. Orthocenter is perpendicular segments from the vertex to the opposite side. Okay? So we're gonna find the perpendicular slope of these lines, okay? So I'm gonna choose 2 segments and then find the slope for it and then find the perpendicular slope for it, and then from the opposite vertex of that slope we graph with that perpendicular slope that we found. And what I mean by that is, okay, let's look at an example. So AB has a slope of 3 over 1, right? So slope of AB equal 3 over 1. Perpendicular will be negative 1 over 3. So this is the perpendicular slope you found for AB, right? And you use the vertex C, which is the opposite vertex of AB, and then with this slope you draw out the segment. So negative 1 to 3, so 3 up 1, 3 up 1, 3 up 1. So that will be the line. Let me draw that out real quick, okay? Okay, now we found one of the we already found one of the altitude. Let's find another altitude. Let's look at AC because it's easier. Okay, so AC it has, so you know it will go straight up like that, right? And from the opposite vertex of AC will be B. And you know to find perpendicular of AC, AC is vertical. And so if you want to be, if you want it to be perpendicular, it has to go horizontal. And from the midpoint B, I mean not midpoint, from the vertex B, you draw a line like that. Now this is our orthocenter, which is our answer, and that will be 2, 2. Okay, number 11. Triangle ABC has blah blah blah. Find the centroid. Okay, ready? Cut that into a triangle. Okay, this will be A. This will be B. And then this will be C. Let me graph out the triangle. Okay, so I draw a triangle and to find centroid. So this time we have a different method to find centroid, which is that you add all the x's divided by 3 to find the x of the centroid, and then you add all the y's and then divided by 3 to find the y of the centroid. What I mean by that is, you see how A, B, and C is coordinates? So we have for A, we have x of A is 0. So 0 plus x of B is 1 plus x of C is 8. Whatever you get, you divide it by 3 to find the x of the centroid, okay? And then for the y of A is 0, 0 plus y of B is 6, so plus 6, and then y of C is 0, so plus 0, divided by 3. So let me put that in the calculator. So 1 plus 8 divided by 3 will be 3. And then 6 divided by 3 will be 2. So the answer will be 3, 2, which the answer is probably right here. That would be our centroid. I'm so sorry. I meant to put a 2, not a 3 right here. I got 2 right here. Sorry. For this question, refer to the figure to determine which is a true statement for the given information. Okay, so if W is an attitude, then okay. So what do you know about attitude? Attitude is perpendicular, right? So perpendicular segments from vertex to the opposite side. Which okay, so if this is perpendicular to YZ, then it will create a 90 degree, correct? Because it's perpendicular, remember? So which one will be true? So angle YWZ YWZ is a right triangle. That's true, okay? Angle XYW is XYW is congruent to ZYW. That is not true because it doesn't tell you that the two angles are congruent. It only tells you it's a 90 degree, and the rest is wrong with number 1. So the answer will be A. Okay, so we cross A out. If YZ is the median, then what do you know about medians? Median is a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Midpoint divides a segment into 2 halves, right? So if YZ is a median, then it will divide XY congruent, XW congruent to WY. So sorry, WZ. Okay. So you know these two are congruent. Then look at the answer. So we talk about V. That's not right. XZ congruent to YZ. That's true. YX is congruent to ZY. That's not true because how do you know that? So the answer will be C. And then look at 3. If YW is an angle bisector, then okay, angle bisector is this one right here, and it segments divide an angle into 2 congruent angles. So if YW is an angle bisector, it will make these 2 angle congruent. So the one that only talks about angle is B, which is saying that XYZ is congruent to ZYW, which is those 2. So that will be B. So number 13, list the angles and orders from the least to greatest measure in triangle DEF. Let's write all the angle out, okay? So angle E, we have angle D, and angle F. Okay, let's write the numbers that are with that angle. So angle E opposite with 7, so E will be 7. Angle D is opposite with 9. See that? So that's 9. And then angle F opposite with 3. So we have the numbers out. We're just gonna put them from the least to the greatest. Least would be 3, so which is F. Angle F. Remember to put the angle sign, please. And then we have E and D left. So angle 7 is less than angle 9, so it will be angle D. And then lastly, angle D. Okay, number 14. Find the range possible values for x. Okay, if you don't notice, or have you noticed that this question is exactly the same from the question in the homework of day 8. So I think I have explained that, but I'm gonna explain it again, okay? So first off, we don't know the opposite numbers of 3x plus 17 or so we know the number of 3x plus 3, 5x plus 3, which is 60, right? But we don't know this number of right here. But what we know is that so you see how it says 5x right here, and then it says 5x right here. That tells you that these two segments are congruent, and so they share the same side. So which tells you that you can use the theorem that we learned in class. I forgot what theorem it was, but like the theorem that helps you, yes, you can like say that something between these two numbers to find the value for x. Okay, let's find the angles of this right here. Okay, so we know this one is a 90-degree with this box, and we know this angle only is 60. So for the whole thing is 90, and this little angle right here is 60. So to find this little over here, you get 90 subtract 60, which is equal to like 30, right? Yeah, 30. Okay, now we found the 30 number, and you know this one angle is 95. A triangle has all angles add up to 180. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna get 180 subtract 30, and then you subtract 95, which is gonna give you the answer of 55. So the opposite of it would be 55. Okay, so let me write out 5x plus 3, and then 3x plus 17. Okay, so for 5x plus 3, the vertex opposite with the segments will be is equal to 60, right? And then for 3x plus 17, the opposite is 55. So we know that 60 is larger than 55, so that's the sign for it. Now we just solve for it, okay? So you subtract 3x by both sides, that will be 2x plus 3 larger than 17. And then you subtract 3 by both sides, so 2x larger than 14, and then divided by 2, x will be larger than 7. Okay, but that's not done yet. Remember how we know that segment is always larger than 0? So now we're gonna have two equations saying 5x plus 3 is greater than 0, and we have another one saying 3x plus 17 greater than 0. Okay, now let's solve for both. You subtract 3 by both sides, that would be 5x larger than -3, and then divide by 5 both sides, so x will be larger than -0.6. And then you subtract 17 by both sides, so we have 3x larger than -17, and then you divide it by both sides, that will be equal to -17 over 3, or which is -5.67. I'm just going to put x larger than -5.67. Okay. And then let's put that in the scale. Okay. So we have 7 is the largest, and then the second largest is -0.6. So -0.6, and then the least number is -5.67. So we know that x is larger than 7, x is larger than negative 0.6, and x is also larger than negative 5.67. So with that being said, x is larger than 7, right? Because if it's x larger than all three numbers, we use the number that is like on the side, like the biggest number, to say that x is larger than 7. That's the answer. Okay, for number 15, list the size of the triangle in order from shortest to longest. Okay, so this is a triangle, and we know that this triangle has 180 add up together by all angles. So let's add all this together and say that they're equal to 180, right? So we have 14x, we have 9x, subtract 10, and then we have 10x plus 5. So negative 10 plus 5 will be negative 5, and then 14 plus 9 plus 10x, 14 plus 9 plus 10, that'll be 33. So 33 x minus 5 is equal to 180. Now let's solve for it. So you plus 5 by both sides, so 33x equal to 185. And then you divide it by 33 by both sides, so x will equal to 5.60. Okay, since we know that x is equal to 5.60, we're just gonna plug that x into each one of it. Okay, so 14 times 5.60 will be equal to 78.4. Okay, so 9, 5.60 minus 10 is equal to 46.4, and then that's a 4, sorry. Okay, and then 10, 5.60 plus 5 will be equal to 61. Okay, then they're asking for the shortest to longest, and the shortest is 40.4. Right? And you know that this vertex, right, this point N is 40.4, and the opposite of 40.4, because remember, see, they're asking for the size, which is a segment. They're not asking for the vertex. So the opposite of 40.4 will be ML, or same thing. So I'm just gonna say ML, okay? And then the second shortest will be 60, right? And 60 is L, but the opposite of L will be MN. So MN. Make sure to read the question right, because they're asking for the size, not the angles, okay? And then the largest number of all is 78.4. Opposite of it will be LN, so LN. Write an inequality to compare angle 1 and angle 2. So let's write angle 1 and angle 2 first. Now, angle 1 and then angle 2. So let's see which one is larger than which. So angle 2, opposite of it will be 11. So we're gonna put 11. Opposite of angle 1 will be 12. So 12. And 12 is larger than 2. So the sign of it will be that. Name the shortest and the longest segments. Okay, let's look at this two triangles. You see how they share the same side? Okay, and for the VX, if you look at to the right, it will be 5.3 degrees. So, and it tells that this was 5.3. But if you look into the right side, it also says 72. And that means this sign, okay, so this angles, this segment right here, it cannot determine what number it is. Like you see how for this side, for the triangle on the left, it will be the shortest segments, but for the triangle on the right side, it will be the longest segments. So we leave it out. We don't touch that because, you know, it does not tell us that because it share the same side between two and it have different perspective of each two triangle. So we leave it out. but instead of doing this, right, let's look at the shortest. Okay, so you see how this one over here is 53 is shortest, but when we don't use that 53 because it determined this segment, and we also don't use 72, right? What's left is these four numbers, and you see the shortest number is 53, and the opposite of 53 is VY. So the shortest segment will be VY. And then now look at the longest segment. The longest segment will be, you see how 64 is the largest number of all four of them. And so the opposite of 64 is WB. So WB.